Board of Adjustment. My name is Darren Green, Vice Chairman of the Union County. Turn this on, so that might matter. I'm Darren Green, Vice Chairman of Union County Zoning Board of Adjustment. Also sitting on the board today is Larry Britt, Bill McGirt, Mark Tilley, and Francis Ward is our alternate today. Also present, we have Senior Planning and Zoning Administrator Jim King, Amy Griffin, who is the clerk to the board, and Derek Thurman, our attorney. The Board of Adjustment hears three different types of cases: applications for variance from regulations in the zoning ordinance, appeals from decision or interpretation of a zoning administrator, or an application for special use permit. The order of each case will be as follows. All parties who plan to give testimony, pro or con, must complete the green form and to speak and be sworn in. A planning staff member will explain why a permit was denied or why a variance is requested or the nature of the special use permit. The board may question the planning staff member. The applicant may question the planning staff member, and then the applicant presents his or her testimony for the case. The board may question the applicant. The planning staff member and persons in opposition may also question the applicant. The applicant may present sworn witnesses. They will be subject to cross-examination. Other parties wishing to speak pro or con will be given reasonable time to present sworn testimony. They will be subject to cross-examination as well. The planning staff member and the applicant will be given an opportunity to rebuttal. After hearing the case, the board will review the case and render a decision. This is usually done following the close of the public hearing and the board's deliberation. However, the board may elect to take up to 30 days to render a decision. You may remain present during the deliberations, or you may contact the Union County Planning Department after the session to receive a decision of the board. All exhibits must remain with the board. Please hand them first to the clerk for tagging. If you feel there's a conflict of interest of any member of the board or an association that would prejudice your case, please let us know before the start of your case. We are a quasi-judicial board and can accept sworn testimony only. No hearsay evidence is admissible. Appeal from this board is to the Union County Superior Court. You have 30 days from the date of the board's written decision in which to appeal in accordance with North Carolina General Statute 168-388E. Please remind everyone to please turn off your cell phones. That's all I'm going to say about that. We do have a quorum. We have 5 members. That is a full board tonight. And with that, I will move on to item B, which is approval of the June 21st and October 18th Board of Adjustment minutes. I will note that the October 18th minutes also are a part of the August 16th minutes, which we had a continuation that night. So we can approve them both together if that's okay. Is that all right with you? So I'll need a motion.
Make a motion to approve.
Motion by Mr. Tilley.
I'll second that for the June 21st, and we're going to do the October 18th in the same motion.
Second by Mr. Britt. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, public hearing, item A, determination of any conflict of interest for case number 2022 SUP-02. Anyone see that? Anybody have a conflict of interest regarding that case?
No.
Hearing none, I will read item B. Special use permit. Presley Investment Holdings LLC is requesting a revision to special use permit 2022-SUP-01 to construct a deck and room addition to an existing event and wedding venue located at 6010 Mill Grove Road, more specifically identified by Union County as parcel 07-060-092. Mr. King is the, let me first ask if we can have, is the petition complete?
It is.
Petition is complete. No one has a conflict, so I'll ask a motion to hear the petition.
I'll make the motion to hear the petition.
Mr. Britt makes a motion to hear. Second?
Second.
Mr. Tilley seconds. All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Mr. King, I guess we need to swear you in. I'm sorry. Why don't we go ahead and swear in Mr. Presley too, and let's get this done, and so we can all get. Anybody else out there? All right, let's swear you guys in. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the matter at hand?
Yes.
Thank you, sirs. All right, Mr. King?
Mr. Chairman, Board of Adjustment. Let's see, turn my slideshow on. All right, this is a special use permit request. It's actually, as stated by Chairman Green that, or Vice Chairman Green that there was special use permit approved 2022 SUP01 back in January of this year. The request is to do an expansion to the existing structure. So at this time, and from here on out, what we're going to do is we're going to incorporate the slide evidence. Tonight, what I'm going to do is enter into evidence the zoning ordinance, or the Union County Development Ordinance, is Exhibit 1. I'm also going to introduce into evidence the November 15th, 2022 agenda package.
Okay, let the record show that Exhibit 1 is the Union County Development Ordinance. Exhibit 2 is the November 15th, 2022 agenda package.
All right, the property is located at 6010 Mill Grove Road. The applicant is Mr. Kevin Presley, who's in attendance tonight, and the owner of the property is Mr. Kevin's LLC, Presley Investment Holdings LLC. The request before you tonight was the applicant, Kevin Presley, received a special use permit for an entertainment spectator sports to operate a private wedding and event venue. That was granted on January 19th of 2022, and the case number was 2022 SUP01. Property is zone RA40, single-family residential. Looking to do an expansion of 1,000 square foot under roof. What that would be for is for commercial kitchen and additional storage. And then they're looking to add a 1,800 square foot covered deck to the rear of the building. The existing conditions, this is the picture photo on the left is looking from the north of the site down towards it. The picture to the left, or to the right, is looking to the south, from the south of the site, north towards it. And then this is looking straight on from the street. This is an aerial of the site itself as it sits today. And then this was the original site plan that was presented with showing additional parking, berm across the front, S1, or I think is a S2 landscaping across the front there, and with the parking lot screening. The original SUP included an addition to the front of the structure, addition to the right side, and an expansion of the assembly area to the rear. What Mr. Presley is requesting this evening is to kind of square the building off right here, and that would be approximately a 1,000 square foot addition. That would be the kitchen area and storage area, and then adding a 1,800 square foot covered porch to the rear. All of this would be outside of the floodplain, of course. I did check with Mr. Presley. One of the things I did want to get into the record tonight, things that we're kind of moving forward with the way that special use permits are granted is, one, county's in a pinch right now for the sewer system. I think a lot of you have heard about the situation going on, and the county is trying to do some plant expansions and even build a new plant so that we could have additional capacity. With that, and just like with the Best Box and Pep Boys, there were some issues that came at hand about how are they going to treat their wastewater. And from here on out, we need to make sure us as staff get you guys all that information up front so that you can make an informed decision. I have talked to Mr. Presley about his wastewater system out there. believe you stated it was Carolina Waste?
Carolina Water.
Carolina Water is the private contractor that does it. It is it's a private packaging plant, and so he has checked with them, and based on the renovations or the expansions that he's proposing here, that there's adequate capacity to treat any additional wastewater.
Jim, do we have anything in writing from Carolina Water?
That'll be coming on the building permit part of it. I'll have to give reference and approve, and show that there is sewer there. And I can elaborate whenever you want to. I can speak on that.
Yeah, we will require that in writing when he goes to get his building permit.
Okay.
One of the big things about this addition here, it's not designed to add capacity or more attendees to these events. It's more or less so that they have storage space to store tables and chairs, decorations, ornaments, and all that kind of stuff for the events, and also to have a commercial grade kitchen for both catering and cooking on site. The development status of the property, it is developed. Environmental features on the property, that there is a floodplain across the rear of the property. You can see the existing structure is a good ways away from the floodplain, and the proposed additions would be far away from the floodplain as well, so there wouldn't be any issues with that. The zoning on the property, this is showing Hemby Bridge, but the actual zoning is RA 40. It is in Hemby Bridge's jurisdiction. Hemby Bridge contracts through the county to do all their zoning and planning for them, and that's why this request is before you tonight. Transportation, there are no improvements for Mill Grove Road planned in the future. It's going to be a 2-lane road with paved shoulders. There will be some improvements for Secret Shortcut, which is down the road, and that's pretty much it. I think most of the other improvements have already been made. The land use plan actually shows this as being an institutional use. It's the one light blue area that well, actually, there's another one right over here, but it's one of 2 light blue areas that showed up on the land use plan, and again, that is for institutional uses. So staff recommendations are it must comply with all local, state, and federal regulations, must comply with the Union County Development Ordinance and the North Carolina Building Code, must fully comply with the approved conditions for the previous special use permit that was issued for this property, case number 2022, issue P01, and that the proposed additions can't increase the intensity of the previous approved special use case back in January. This time, if the board has any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. If not, the applicant is here to speak to this as well.
Any questions?
No.
Thank you,
Thank
sir. Mr. Presser?
Yes, sir. So basically what we did is, at the beginning, and thank you guys for approving the special use permit back earlier part of the year, but we did need more room, and with the expansion, and I told Jim, I said, just brought it down, it showed the new addition at that point. After we actually got into it and started looking at it, we do need storage room, we need more room in the kitchen area itself, so that's the reason for the additions of this thing. So,
Would you,
yes, sir.
excuse me, so would you be increasing the size of the wedding venue?
No, sir. This will be the size of the kitchen and the outdoor deck for a porch on the back. The venue itself will not be increased in size.
Okay, thank you.
Yes.
But you already have a kitchen and all on site now.
No, sir, there's a planned kitchen in the area that it was, but the kitchen needs to be bigger than originally planned because of coolers and things like that we're going to have inside instead of being outside. They'll actually, yeah.
Okay, any other questions? All right,
Thank you, sir.
thank you, sir. Anyone else would like to speak in favor of the petition?
I would like to speak with questions about it.
Okay, then you need to come up and be sworn in, please. There's a little green sheet of paper there you're gonna need to fill out, but you
Okay.
could,
Because I have questions myself.
okay.
I'm not sure how I stand right now, that's why I need it.
And I can fill in.
Okay. Okay.
All right, because you are speaking and I have to swear you in. 'cause
Okay,
if
that's
you give
fine.
everything- So, is the Bible up there, somebody, right there? Which hand is it?
Left hand on the Bible.
Left hand on the Bible? Okay, I got a, that's why I have a lawyer over here and I got one over there and I don't notice stuff. Cause I try to remember when the president gets sworn in, what's he look like? Well, anyway.
I'm gonna hand
Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the hand that matter?
Yes.
Okay, thank you, matter hand.
Okay, my name is Sharon Campbell, and we live right across the street from
Okay.
this. And the problem I have is this, and I don't really know if it's a problem, and I don't have any reason with any problem not wanting him to put the facility there. The problem is, we have flooding, severe flooding, and it even gets in his kitchen area. And my problem is where they are stocking and stocking and stocking and stocking, it is presenting a problem to be. I don't see any big drainage areas started yet. There's a creek there, and it usually is just a little rundown creek that goes smoothly, but when we have a storm, it is like a river. And the way it is, okay, here's where his restaurant is, and here is the bridge. And usually where he's building is where the flood goes, the water goes. But by stocking and stocking and stocking and stocking, it's gonna go right across the bridge. You don't have to be a physics major, you don't have, you just gotta use your common sense. You're creating a problem unless massive drainage is done there. I've been there over 30 years, and I've seen it. Some seasons we don't get terrible, terrible rains, but he knows himself over the last 2 or 3 years, your area's gotten flooded. Your parking lot's been flooded more than once. And my problem is there needs to be something done for the drainage. Even if the building were smaller, he's still presenting an opportunity for great flooding and tearing up the road and coming across that bridge. It has no place to go. The water has no place to go. That's
Okay.
what our concern is. And we're directly across the street, so we,
Okay, Jim, can you come back up and let's pull a map up if you got one where I can see where she's talking about? Let's look at this thing. And then I'll get Mr. Presley to come up and we'll talk about what we're seeing here.
So this is pulling up the flood zone right here. and I'll
Okay,
put-
so the property is,
It's, the property is this one right here.
that's the property.
And I'll put the aerials on for you too, so you can have that layer.
That'll help me a lot. I can see what I'm talking about now. So that's the property. Ma'am, can you tell me where you live? You across the street over here on Mill
Yeah,
Grove?
You can just put your cursor on.
Okay, put the cursor where you live, so you're right, okay, gotcha. And you're telling me that the road, Mill Grove floods right there?
Mill Grove floods down here.
Okay.
Where he's building, just let me show you. Where he's building, this area right here
Okay,
is where the floodwater usually goes.
okay. Which is a floodplain?
Yeah, but what he's building is he's building this part up.
Okay,
And the water will have no place to go except here, and it'll flood over the bridge.
where's the bridge?
Right here.
Okay.
It has no place to go. It usually goes into this
Oh,
area.
I see the bridge. I think I can see it. Thank you.
I'm confused. Where you're putting that is not what we're talking about. We're talking about him adding 1,000 square feet to
Yeah, it
that
is.
church
Yeah,
over
it is.
there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. You're not hearing what I'm saying. He's building right here.
No, he's
But
not
that's
building
not
there.
his
That's not
land.
his land. He's building onto that building that's right there
He's
with the dock.
dumping wood and, dirt and gravel and right here. That's where they're working right now.
Well, he's not building there. The property's gonna, where the dot is, up there where the red lines are.
Isn't this where you're going, sir? What's going on there then?
That is storage of dirt that we pulled in. We've got a, approval from Diener to the dirt that we're gonna use in the back of the building back there after the church.
I'm sorry, Mr. Presley, can you
flat.
come up? I'm sorry.
It's flattening every day. You're bringing in tons and tons and tons of
So
gravel.
what you're, I'm sorry, so right now you're storing some stuff on that piece of property right there?
Darren, let me show you right here.
Okay, okay.
This is actually out of flood zone right here. We have called Diener in Raleigh.
Right.
And the church has until December the 31st, they found another place.
Right.
So basically what we're doing is the addition that's already been approved, we're building a pad right here, the backside you guys already approved for us.
Right.
And the asphalt millings will be on the expanded parking lot that you guys already approved for us to use there.
Right.
And so we have compactable dirt, my son's in the grading business.
Right.
And so we have come in here and outside of the flood zone, we have put up silt fence to disturb less than an acre, and which we have the right by Diener, had that approved. And so we have silt fenced in outside of the flood zone area up here, and then we're containing everything in here. We have absolutely no runoff.
So, yeah,
That dirt will be used for this site
That
here.
dirt's moving back to your.
Absolutely.
property after the
and so once it's finished, it's gone.
We've not raised the level up. We've raised the mound. We have a mound of dirt, but once it's finished, it'll be right back to the other, and we're out of the flood zone, we're out of the buffers,
Right.
everything, and we have, permission from Raleigh with the silt fence on there.
Okay, all right.
That's not so.
That dirt, I'm sorry.
It's gravelled, it's flattened, dirt's put on it. It's gravelled, it's flattened, dirt's piled on it. It has probably raised the flood zone maybe, I don't know, maybe 2 feet, wouldn't you say, 4 foot? 2 foot?
You're speculating there, and here's the deal, we're not in flood zone. We're
Yeah.
out of the flood zone area that we can
Right,
put that layer
so,
on there. I'll be glad to do that
where's the
for you.
layers on that again?
Let me-
Jim,
I'll get-
I don't know if Jim,
I'll get it for
I
you
wish
right
I
here.
brought pictures. I should have taken pictures, then I could show you better. Because what he's saying is not what's happening.
I have a question, Mr. President.
Right there. Take that off.
oh,
And
sorry.
you have, the natural floods.
Yeah, it's on there, so if you scroll out, you'll see.
If
There
they
you
were
go.
making
Now you can see the flood.
arrangements.
So the floodplain is,
We're
Yeah,
out of the floodplain.
okay.
The
I see.
floodplain's down here, you see that
Absolutely.
area right there?
Right.
Let me put on the layers here so you can see it better.
There
There's the
you go.
floodplain. We have the silt fence, this is the line that comes off of Hembywood right here. This is another parcel of land here, we have put in an acre, put it right in here, and silt fence this here. And what we're gonna do is take this dirt here, and it's gonna be put here, also not in a
Not in
flood zone.
floodplain, right.
And we've checked all this before we even come to you guys for the permit. That is just stored up, it's gonna be moved in January as soon as, but I didn't want to disturb the church until they were out of there.
Sure,
That's all it
okay.
is. And,
You're packing it down though with gravel and dirt.
We-
You're packing it every
well, I'm
day.
sure you have to.
we have to, we don't
protect
want to
it.
get any runoff to go in the creek. So
Right.
that's part, we have to keep packing, and we're gonna continue to bring dirt in. And then once we get finished once the church moves out, all of that dirt's gonna be moved to the backside. So
There's
we're-
no way unless you're gonna dig a big hole. I need to bring a picture. There's no way.
Well, ma'am, you can't put dirt there without putting something to protect the dirt from running off,
I
so.
understand there, but what I'm saying to you is in the meantime, the logistics of what he's saying is not making sense. They bring in that much dirt every single day.
We haven't brought dirt in 2 weeks. The weather hasn't been, and we're on another job that we've been stalled for 2 weeks.
Mr. Chairman,
Any questions for anyone? Yes, sir.
ma'am,
Yes.
Yeah.
if I could, I want to give you my business card.
Uh-huh.
And if you'll call me tomorrow, I will put you in contact with our stormwater engineer.
Uh-huh.
And, he can take a look, see
Yeah.
if there's any violations or anything. And I do want to remind the board that we got two
Yeah,
situations
nothing
here.
to do with this.
We got a request to send a hand to the adjacent parcel, and then we have
Right.
a complaint that could be a potential violation.
But it's not got anything to do with this, yeah, exactly. Thank you, sir, for reminding me of that. I appreciate your concern, but this has anything to do with the.
Well, it
the
does.
Well, it does not, ma'am, I'm sorry, it does not. It really doesn't, because it's a different parcel and it's a whole different thing, and like
No,
Mr.
it's
King
not.
said, it absolutely is. It has absolutely nothing to do with the special use permit, what's going on the other property, so. Mr. King is more than happy to assist you with, and you can, if there is a violation, I assure you, they'll take care of it. I assure you, if there's a violation, they'll be calling Mr. Presley, so.
Kevin, you know what I'm saying is true. I have no problem with you. I went to church with you for years, but what you're doing now is wrong.
Okay, all right, we're not doing that tonight. Y'all feel free to talk later. Any other questions for anyone?
If you'll wait a few minutes, we'll talk.
Mr. McGuire has a question for her.
In the previous special use permit,
Yeah, let me talk to you.
I'm trying to recall, is everything gonna be inside,
Yes,
indoor events only?
indoor events, that's correct.
So what's the purpose of the covered deck?
Well, I guess if somebody just wants to get some air, go smoke a cigarette, or got a place to be outside the weather, but it's still open air and do such.
But we're still not gonna have outdoor events
No,
on the
sir.
covered deck?
It's just to be able to go outside the building and to be able, and to be honest with you too, it'll be good for loading and unloading, you know, you can put stuff on the deck while you're loading on the backside of it. So, and
How
to be
big's-
honest with you, the
I'm
deck-
sorry, can you come up and,
I'm sorry.
because, we gotta make sure we're hearing all that.
That's right.
How big is the deck again?
It's a 30 by 60. It's just, we just come out 30 foot and that way it'll be covered and, you know, you could enjoy the deck outside, or you could, we thought for storage, we could, you know, unloading and stuff, loading trucks out in the backside with the proximity to the kitchen. You wouldn't have to come through the front and to be honest with you, my wife thought it'd look good to have a deck on the back of it, the aesthetics of it, because the building's so big. And I said, well, let's just put this on here. We'll use it instead of having, again, just a loading dock or anything like that. We thought this would look better.
So people aren't standing out in the rain if it's raining?
Absolutely. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There will be no events out there on the
No,
deck?
sir.
All right. So that doesn't change anything?
Right.
Any other questions? All right. Anyone else? Okay. All right. At this time, we will close the public hearing. I think this one's, everything's already been pretty much, there's not a lot to talk about here, is there? We already approved it, we're just adding a little size to it. So is there anything much we just need to run through these? Number one, the proposed use and development comply with the regulations and standards generally applicable within the zoning district and specifically applicable to the particular type of use. It's already permitted, being used as a place of gathering. Proposed special use would remain in place. Any other things? All in favor, say aye. Aye, opposed?
Oh, actually, I'm sorry, I'd like to maybe amend that to indicate that the size of the venue remains the same.
Okay. Everybody okay with that?
Yep.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Well, it doesn't remain the same. It doesn't remain the same, does it?
Yeah, but the kitchen will, so what?
The kitchen's
What are
bigger.
you defining the venue? You
The,
talking
the,
about actual gathering area?
the gathering space remains the
Yeah, because
same.
the building will be bigger. I just want to make sure we're okay.
Okay, I'm sorry. The gathering space remains the same.
Correct. Okay.
Yes.
The facility will increase in size.
Yes.
So is everybody okay with that? We got that? All in favor, say aye. Aye, any opposed? Okay. Number two, the proposed development will not materially endanger the public health or safety. Proposed use would continue to remain in compliance and utilize all public access, stormwater, and utilities which are currently in place. Anything we need to add to that?
I'd like to specify on that the person who had a problem with this was talking about a totally different plot
Partial.
than what we're looking at.
Okay, we can put that on there. Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Number three, the proposed development will not substantially injure the value of budding property. Again, Morrison Appraisal conducted an impact study previously. I can't imagine that anything would change on that, adding a kitchen and a deck. So, everybody okay with that?
Yes.
I'm okay with it. Okay, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Number 4, the proposed development will be in harmony with the area in which it's located. And the location of the proposed use would continue to be in harmony with the area since the current building and use has been in place for several years and we've already approved it. We're just adding a deck and a kitchen, so anything else? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, number 5, the proposed development will be in general conformity with the comprehensive plan. Current comprehensive plan reflects this location as an established place of gathering. This will not change under proposed use, therefore the proposed use will remain in general conformity with the comprehensive plan. Anything to add to that? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? All right, so I need a motion. I would ask that whoever makes the motion, let's make sure, would it be appropriate to add that, since we don't have I know we talked about this, since we don't have anything from the water and sewer, that it be, should we put that in the motion, that it's
You can add that as a
condition that it has to be, approved by the water and sewer, I'm sorry, Kevin, you can't speak. But that's gonna happen, that they can't get a building permit without it.
That is correct.
But, okay. Okay, but I know we've talked about this earlier, that we gotta start being more careful and making sure that, because Union County's out of water and sewer.
Well, I make a motion to approve with the 4 recommendations from the staff
Okay,
and adding that the water and sewer must be approved for the building permit on this.
no? I'm good with that. Is there a second? Okay, we have a motion and a second. Do we have any discussion? Okay, motion by Mr. Tilley, second by Mr. Ward. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Okay, thank you all. Thank you, Mr. Presley.
Thank you, sir.
Are there any other items to come before the board? Hearing none. Motion to adjourn. Do we have a second?
I'll second it.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Good night, everyone.
Good night.